What school do you go to? EACHS? I can't spell his name. Velveteen Dream. Put his dick on a screenshot. Velveteen. Whatever. I tried. Alright. It doesn't take as soon as I start recording or anything to think of a creative song like I did back in the day. Other than that, Velveteen Dream, former NXT superstar, yet again made the headlines in just under a week, repeatedly getting arrested over allegations of publicly recording WWE superstars in the locker room. One allegedly coming from EC3 that was on NXT the same time as Velveteen Dream. So that's a realistic case. What school do you go to, and what's your favorite color briefs? Personal questions from Velveteen Dream. Oh my god. And this is coming just a few years after his release for his allegations coming out, uh, harassing a minor. What school do you go to? Comment he did a couple of years ago, where he had over on in a DM, he had with the minor, and now here he is attempting to film guys in the bathroom. What's wrong with you? This I don't know if he's trying to push a new low, because Velveteen Dream, he used to be a potential star. He had the flamboyancy. He was in the right direction. He wasn't always on the work rate craft, and he had the entrances, the look, cool catchphrases, a good physique, a guy that you can push as a good below hand mid carder, a guy that you could see is like somebody that can give the IC title some attention if we put him over to the main roster. Velveteen Dream had it out of most of the Ring of Honor rejects that come out of NXT in the black and gold era. He was actually one of my personal favorites whenever I heard of a takeover involving his match he had with like Ricochet, Brian Kendrick. And it's sad how he goes down this road showing how pervertedly down bad, degenerate douche he is, and he's coming around pushing himself with the law so much. And now we're pushing over to sources that we're getting with employees that's been in the same locker room as him. So that's pretty much it from here. For I guess what type of public credibility, or at least any type of shame that Velveteen Dream thinks he has for himself. And it's sad too, because so much potential just gets wiped away because this guy's down bad. That's depressing. And that's out of all the jokes that we got from the post pay-per-view stuff that we had over the All Out pay-per-view that I streamed like an hour and a half of and got bored. Because barely anybody was popping up. I thank you guys for the viewership, but it was just boring. I I don't want to watch a pay-per-view that's boring. What? Punk win it back after losing it like 2 weeks prior? And MJF came back. We had like 3 6-man tags in a 4-hour pay-per-view. Why? Almost every other match was mid at this point. Most of that shit you could have pushed over a 2-hour special of Rampage. But no, it just had good matches, and that's the discrepancy we had, and nobody will remember shit. Like, what, we had Jericho versus Brian Pillman Jr. on pay-per-view. Like, man, if you don't, treating FTR and Wardlow like sideshows, especially Wardlow, and just giving this to a decrepit jobber that is so overly privileged, pushing over his agenda, and then coming around berating anybody that has just a different belief than him and has no source of understanding to anybody else's case when it comes to their opinion. CM Punk is a piece of shit. And how it took 10 years for certain fans to idolize Punk. Yeah, they idolize CM Punk. Because you're old. You're not in the now. I'm not main eventing, but I'm still a bigger star than you are. Like, Punk, they're only main eventing now because there's nobody bigger than you right now on AEW. Anybody else that's bigger in pro wrestling that's not in WWE, you will be curtain jerking with fucking Danhausen and John Silver grabbing each other's nut crotch while sexually harassing women while getting some action figures. That's how below the totem pole you technically are in pro wrestling. And how even people will even fathom that you're better workers than the Hall of Famers that they have in the business right now. Bro, makes no sense. Besides that, that's it coming from the DSD show. I don't think I'll be pushing over a stream for today. Uh, Raw is gonna start in like 8 minutes, so I guess it's dependent on my mood. I can't guarantee it. But if you want to watch more, or even my previous streams I do for Raw, SmackDown sometimes because I'm at work, and pay-per-views, and my other content that doesn't always have to involve wrestling, subscribe to the DSD show, like, comment, and share to make sure that this grows as much as possible. Thanks for watching.